What's going on, guys? Today we are gonna be unbuilding a PC. One of my friends asked me this week if he can take apart his PC. I told him, yeah, if you can, or if you want to, you can absolutely go through it and take out what you need and sell it in individual parts. And that's exactly what he wants me to do for him. I've always built computers, but unbuilding it and having it packaged to be able to resell on the component level basis is new to me. But since I've built computers before, unbuilding it or deconstructing it shouldn't be a difficult task. I actually got two surprises for you today. One is gonna be the unbuilding of a custom game PC. And the second one is the annual maintenance on my personal gaming / business desktop. If we have time, which hopefully we do, I will get into the upgrading of my PC and also cleaning it up like you should do at least once every 6 months, or the very least once a year. So it's definitely due for some cleaning. But when I normally do the cleaning, I also like to replace the thermal paste. But my computer has had 0 problems with temperature, and so I don't want to do that. I'm going to do the lazy way on my own computer, because I know it, and not do the CPU thermal replacement like you normally should. But like I said, since I use it every day, I know that the cooling is not an issue on that computer. It just comes recommended. Let's get started with the unbuilding of the PC. Now, I did get some supplies to put things away, and then I'll put the components separately inside the box, and I think we should be golden. Let's get started. First things first, power cord, goodbye. And then secondly, I'm gonna take off this antenna, which just sits on top over there. And we're gonna unscrew this from the back, which is what's connected directly to the motherboard. And now we have this separate. Now, I want you to see what I'm seeing. Let's see what we can do. These screws will come back. All right, let's start off with the big component first, which is this graphics card. All right, let's unplug this. And then 2 screws. I repair computers on the daily, but deconstructing one that's already been built, yeah, that's brand new to me. The only thing I can think of is to get as many components off as possible before getting to the main component, the motherboard. So what I'm gonna be doing is cleaning this up. So the goal of this project is to not only disassemble piece by piece this entire PC, but it's also to get these components ready for resale. Now, I was not supplied the original boxes for these components. If I had the original boxes, I would be cleaning them and putting it directly back into the box so it's retail ready. But since I do not, then I'm gonna get them retail ready and put them away safely so that way the owner can do the rest themselves. Now, much better just from that alone. And this is a 1060 graphics card. So 1st generation graphics card, nothing crazy. I don't think this is more than $200. Like maybe between $100 and $200 max. So we Can put this aside. Next, what I want to tackle is, let me take out the hard drive while I'm at it. The hard drive is there. Behind that protector right there is the solid state drive. So let's take it out. So there's usually a thermal pad. Yep, that's keeping it together. It is. Usually I'm putting these together, not taking it apart. So if you see, there's the solid state drive here. Then there's the memory module that gives the storage. And then you can see the gap between the board in the bottom and this thing on top, the thermal guard. And right beneath, what's sandwiched between is a thermal strip. So I wonder if I can take this off. No, that's staying together. And I don't want to pry it off. And the memory chip stays, and then this whole thing is ruined. But it also needs to come off. I don't even mind taking it off with the thermal as long as it comes with it. Oh, yeah, carefully done. Yeah, because this belongs to the motherboard and this is the graphics card. I wonder how long that took, like another minute? I know this was used as a gaming PC, so with the amount of reading and writing that solid state drive is running through, it's gonna warm up this thermal pad right here and it'll get stuck to it. So I was just being extra careful not to rip off any of these sensitive components at the top here when I'm peeling this off. Otherwise, this would be damaged and no good. Now I'm gonna tackle the power supply, and we need to undo the top one here and this 24 pin main power right here as well. So let me get that done. There's always risk when working on a computer, so always be careful. All right. 24 pin power out. Now, you can't see it from up there, but I'm gonna be tackling this yellow power supply for the CPU right there. Even though the computer looks clean, it actually is still dirty inside. So that's why I always recommend cleaning your computer every 6 to 12 months. So I don't have enough clearance, so I'm gonna take off these two fans and then get back to it. Much better. That one wasn't even on the case itself. Yeah, this one wasn't on the case either. So let's flip this back over. Hopefully y'all can see. All right, so we removed those two, put it to the side, and now we have clear access. After many years of buildup, these connectors can be very tricky to remove. I'm gonna grab the separator real quick. But if you try to force it off, it might break something. Got it out. Just needed a little bit of help prying. Otherwise, I would have put too much pressure on the socket and could potentially damage it. What is that? Just noticing something. Okay. That Wi-Fi card scared me a little bit. It looked like it was disfigured. But with that zoom, it helped find out it was fine. To recap, I was able to grab this guy, the yellow part, out of its spot. Now I can actually remove it. And we can actually take off all the fans. So let's get that done. There's different kinds of case fans, and this one was a basic one. Oh yeah. So that's how all the fans were powered up. These modular plugs, daisy chaining off each other. Ugh, these are the modular fans that come with the modular plugs. That is dirty too, so we'll clean that up in a second. Brother, ugh.
Modern fans are powered by hubs or USB, and there's a lot more features when it's connected that way. With these, they're just the basic for power.
All right, next on the list, we're continuing with the power supply. So I'm gonna be taking out these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the back here. Okay, we have that. I actually found another hard drive. There's a big boy hard drive right there. So I'm gonna unplug that and then we'll tackle this mess over here. It looks like it has a screw on the bottom.
When you're taking apart a computer you never even touched before, you find stuff.
There's 4 screws we gotta take out because the casing belongs to the case and the hard drive is separate. So let's take that out as well.
So far I found a hard drive, I found some modular fans. What else we gonna find?
Whew. We have a 4 terabyte hard disk drive, and now we can get back to this. Let's get this big boy out of there. So there's the 24 pin. This guy, he's out. And then we need the PCI connectors that connected to the graphics card. Power supply has been officially taken out. I can take out this screen as well so I can clean it. Very, very dirty. Take out the board connection. The case to board connections, which is the SATA, and then the USB 3.0.
So the case comes with peripherals like a USB connection or the power button or a USB-C connection. All those things have to talk to the motherboard. So that's what I'm disconnecting right here.
And now I'm taking out these guys right here in the front USB connection, and then the audio cable. If you're wondering, it's all of these cables in the bottom here. Now we're gonna be doing the CPU cooler, which is this all-in-one cooler here. Let's get that done next. Let me make sure there's nothing else plugged into the motherboard. So this can come out now. This can come out. This can come out here. I just took off the front cover here.
I guess you can say it's starting to look like a shell of its former self.
We're able to access the front fan as well as the back of the cooling unit, the front of the case. Let's take out all these screws and the radiator will come out. So let's do that. Now we got all the screws out. I can easily bring this forward. We have this radiator, and lastly the 4 screws that's got to come out. I'll show you guys. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th one back there. So let's take those 4 out. Woo! I really hope this was a pre-built computer. I'll show you why in a second, if you already can't tell. Yeah, that is some awful thermal pasting. All right, so let's start cleaning up. We have this out. That just leaves the processor and the motherboard.
There was an excessive amount of thermal paste on the processor, so I just want to make sure I can clean it up as best as possible, so that way it doesn't cause a problem for the future owner when they plug everything in.
Oh, so it's an i7 12700K. i7 12700K. That is an amazing processor. So we definitely want to save that. So I don't have a way to safely store this processor, and I don't feel like putting it in a plastic bag is gonna be secure enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it on this motherboard, and it'll be a motherboard processor combination. And if he wants to separate it, he just can unlatch it himself. If I had an anti-static bag, if I had the original box that it came in, I would love to put it back, but I do not want to chance it, and that is a very good processor. That processor right now is easily $300. this motherboard isn't even that expensive compared to it. Gigabyte B760M. It's a DDR4, not the DDR5.
Now, the DDR4 is sufficient for most people, and it costs so much less than the DDR5. So if you're looking to build a computer right now and budget is a problem, don't worry about getting a DDR4. It'll do the job.
So now we have a separate casing, separate motherboard, and all the components on the side. Let me clean all this up and do an inventory. So we have fully disassembled the PC. I cleaned up a lot of the parts. Now I'm gonna be organizing, tagging, and packaging all this stuff up. So all in all, we have the case here by Montech. We have a Gigabyte motherboard with an Intel processor still in it. 4 terabyte regular hard disk drive. We got the 1060 Asus graphics card here. And we got a 1 terabyte gigabyte solid state drive. This actually belongs to the motherboard, so I'm going to be putting it back. All-in-one cooling unit, 700 watt power supply, and the 3 fans all removed in an empty case. All right, so now we have everything properly labeled, everything packaged and ready to go. A completely empty box or a case, and here's everything that was in it. So motherboard with the CPU still in it, 700 watt power supply unit, 1060 GPU, the case fans, 4 terabyte hard drive, the Wi-Fi antenna, motherboard screws, and the 1 terabyte solid state drive in there, and the all-in-one CPU cooler. All in all, completely taken out, ready to be resold to a new home. All right, it's completely packaged up, ready to go. We just officially unbuilt or disassembled a gaming PC. First time, not bad. So we're going from this
To this.
which is my personal PC that I use. So if you guys made it this far, thank you so much for watching. What I'm gonna be doing now is cleaning this up real quick and also adding some RGB connections that I haven't had on all my fans. So we're going to quickly be doing that because it is already after 10 p.m. and I am exhausted. All right, so pay attention because I'm going to be going through this very quickly. I have an i9 12900K. Just this case alone was about $550. I did some upgrades inside as well. So I got a 3060 Ti graphics card.
I also upgraded it with 32 gigs of RAM. I also upgraded to a 1,000 watt power supply, and I made sure to get as many case fans as possible. This is a one-size-fits-all PC, which means it can handle anything, whether it's AI computation, 3D design, video games, video editing like I'm doing on it now. It has to handle everything, so I make sure to upgrade every couple years. And since it doesn't need any upgrades right now, I just have to make sure that I keep up with the maintenance. So I'm making sure that it's dusted, it's cleaned, and it's good to go. I'm also going to be buttoning up a few things that were left disconnected, and that's what today is for.
So let me go through it with a white cloth. There's some dirt to it. It's not that bad. Yeah, not that bad. So let me just clean the glass with this, all the glass surfaces.
Circulation is very important. So if there's a lot of dust buildup and fans can't circulate the air inside of your computer, you're gonna get a lot of performance problems.
Good. Now, adapter cables. I got USB connections too, word. Oh, turn this around. Now you get to see the ugly part, which is back here. Y'all ready? Hold up.
So the front of the computer is where everybody sees everything. So you want to have the best cable management in the front as possible. And in the back, yes, cable management is very important because you want to know where things are plugged in and you don't want to cause a fire hazard either.
Got this in here, no problem. Got this in here.
Now, the reason I'm going through all the cables is because it's been probably close to a year and a half since I've opened this thing, and I don't remember if everything is plugged in. So I'm checking what is required, what is needed, and what needs my attention.
Boom, boom, yep.
And every connection that I check is already done.
Everything's plugged in. Literally everything's plugged in. There's nothing that's not plugged in.
But I ordered some extra cables, so I know that there's something not plugged in.
That's there, that's there. Ah, found you. Okay. Need another USB. So USB to USB right here. It was a module that was completely off. Now we can plug this guy in, and we can plug in this bad boy. So now we have this plugged in right now, right? What did I just plug in? I plugged in the all-in-one. Okay. This is for RGB. This is for power as well. Power, and technically RGB as well. So I'm gonna say I'm good.
This was my first time disassembling a PC in its entirety, and as a bonus content for you guys, I was able to do some maintenance and clean up on my own computer, and you get to see exactly what I work with. And here's the finished piece.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content where I'm building or unbuilding custom PCs, make sure you hit that like and subscribe so I know that you like this kind of content, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and that way I can create more content like this. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.